What is up, YouTube? Back from Slamology. I had to get a new phone, so I have my photos and videos backed up to my computer, so got to figure out how to edit that. So I have Import Face-Off and Slamology stuff that I'll upload soon. But anyway, so we've got a fresh start on a new phone. About to, where am I pointing? Over there. There it is. Batteries are gonna have to come out. Just adjusting a few things, getting my voltage figured out. We'll go over that later. Anyway, one of my subs blew, and I think I know why. So, aside from these subs seeing 1.5 times their rated power on music, with like double, like a close to their peak rating on bursts, but like 1.5 times their RMS on music, and I got them pretty hot a few times. And anyway, we're gonna go over some stuff on the subs, stuff that I think could be improved, and see if NVX will work with me on that. We're figuring it out. I kind of want to recone them and like do SPL stuff with them, because I think they're really good motors. Like they're pretty beefy. They're nice subs, but they're 1200 RMS rated, and that's kind of where the cooling on them is, because they were getting hot when I gave them more than that. I think you could call them 1500, really, with how they are, but that's a different issue. Anyway, my box loads the subs unevenly. The one on the side where it's got more airspace behind the sub is the one that blows. The version 2's that side blew, now the version 3's that's the same side. So we lost a coil, and my arm's getting tired already, so that's good. About to just guillotine myself if that board falls. So here is the NVX subs. That's the one with the blown coil. Yeah, so there's that. Looks perfectly fine. But coil doesn't even read any ohms, like it's fully disconnected. So that's got a bad coil. And then my issue is, and both of them are like this. If you can see how warped that is from the pressure on that Allen head screw. That one's okay. That one's a little warped. And which one is it? What's this one? You can see that's at a bit of an angle. And it's not even contacting the ring, so that's fully cross-threaded. But see, that's warped. It's okay. That one's there. So that's what I've got. I think 3 of these are so much tension on these that they cracked the plastic hold-down ring. I'd like to see this ring made out of metal and still bolted down. I don't want it just glued. I'd like to see this glued metal ring and bolted down, and like an actual torque spec on these, because half of these are stripped. There's like little metal flakes on it from the bits stripping out in the Allen head things. So they need to be a little less ugga-dugga action on them. Other than that, though, these are really nice, thick tinsel leads, good sized ones. I could compare it to this. Used a double, but they are not a flat tinsel lead. It's like normal wires. So those are just kind of normal wires there. So I had to move these around because they were hitting the cone. So this is the one that really blew, and I think I mentioned earlier, so both of those were in the same spot in the box. So this one got really destroyed. but that's because of the, I don't even know where they are. My speaker grills. The speaker grills were hitting the subs, and it tore up the surrounds on both of them a little bit, but this one was way worse. And now this one blew a coil. And so I think what happened is, over here to the box designing tips, when you're getting a lot of output on these things, this side with nothing behind it there doesn't have as much resistance. It's not loading the sub as much as this side. And that little bit of a difference is causing this sub to probably move a little bit farther. That's why it hit the surround on the speaker grill more. But also, I think on the new ones, it blew a coil. So I think it was moving more. And when they move more, they become uneven. They get different amounts of power because the ohm load is reactive and it acts different. So it might have more power going to one side or the other. And now twice now, a sub on this side is blown. So probably done with this box, and I'm gonna have to start over on building. Pulled everything out of the car again. So we got the interior out. Starting to clean up all the wiring again. Took the switch panel out. I put wire loom on all that, so I gotta take that out. I've got, those are the wires I'm keeping. We're gonna ohm out all the wires, figure out what is what, and label it. We got that to label things. This is all the switch panel stuff. I did almost all of this the night before and the morning of import face-off. I gotta pull the radio, de-pin the speaker wires, because that was giving me an error at IFO and I was freaking out about it. I didn't film very much at IFO just because of how chaotic it was. I didn't get there till like 10 o'clock. Radio was giving me amp error, which is usually from the speaker wires not being taped off, because I don't know why I forgot to do that, but I did. So we're gonna de-pin that. The potentiometer on the alternator, we're gonna run that to the switch panel here so I can dial up and down my voltage there. Probably gonna leave it around 15.1, maybe 15.2, and we'll double check on the meter before we make too many adjustments there. What else? I'll probably have the radio unplugged when I first turn that on until the voltage is dialed down, because the battery floats around 15.2. That's like the resting voltage on this thing. So I want to pull it down to like 15.1 and leave it there. What else? So we'll have a voltmeter to the alternator and a voltmeter to the main battery, and a potentiometer to the alternator. And then my lights and radar detector. That's about it. So the voltmeter will be direct to the battery and the alternator. So I can see if one's more drained than the other, we can start to, we can see the difference between what we're charging at and what the bank's at. So like when it gets really discharged, we can see that. Yeah, just cleaning up wires. Gonna add a lot more zip ties, tape off a lot of things, de-pin a couple things, and then use a magnet, fish all my screws out of there, and throw it all back together and kind of clean it up as we go, vacuum it out, and kind of finalize everything. I want to be done with tinkering. The only thing I'm going to change out is the sub box back and forth with the comparing the different subs in the one box. I also need to order plexiglass for the window for that box. I'll probably figure that out tonight. But anyway, I think that is everything I'll be up to today. I've got a 3-day weekend, so today's Saturday. Got all this ripped out tonight. Got a couple hours of light left, so I'm gonna figure out where all these wires go to and start cleaning this all up and getting it back together. Just simplifying and organizing. So anyway, I'll probably pick the camera back up when I'm about done with this. So until then, we will be right back for you guys Might be a day for me. Quick update. We have everything labeled. I eliminated one run of power, and we're going to put different ends on this and run this to the alternator for the alternator voltage. That's all simplified, and I'm going to redo the zip ties on this to clean it up. Used my magnet, found some screws that were missing, and I depinned the radio harness. There it is. So I depinned all of these. That's all the speaker wires, and then like a mute wire. I forget what the orange one is. Something. Anyway, so this only has positive and negative switched in to turn it on, and then it's got a purple like remote wire for the reverse camera, and I'll have that soon, and then we can install that. So we'll have a reverse camera working, which will be nice. And then I need to reach out to Sky High because my bass knob is not working, so that's good. Then trunk is all empty, which is weird. I'm gonna get some more zero gauge so we can run our dual inputs, even though it's completely unnecessary now because I'm probably running this 5K at 8 ohms on the when we do. Well, I could turn it down and do 2 ohms. I don't know. We'll figure it out. We'll do something. It won't be using very much power. Quick thing with battery stuff. Before you connect this, make sure it can't touch anything metal, because the reason this doesn't have a balancer is I had one of these and this one, and touched metal and shorted out and died. So that's 30 bucks down the hole instantly. So before I plug this in, I'm going to make sure I have some kind of a case. Probably going to just 3D print something simple. So I'll get that done. But when you're wiring it, you have the minus 1, 2, 3, 4, and then I depinned, same as the radio, just depinned those last two, so it's only 4. So you do B minus to the ground. Next one is 1. So just take the next wire, that'd be yellow, and that goes to this first bank. Next one is white, goes to your middle. Blue would be the second one, and then green would be your positive here. So it's ground 1, 2, 3, 4, and I'll put a little picture on screen here. But it's just 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It's just you're in order, so it's negative, and you're following the way that the batteries are in the 4S, if that makes sense. But yeah, and make sure you wire this completely before you plug it in, because when you plug in just one wire at a time and you put it on and it's getting bad connection, then it's connected, and then it's like 1's connected, 2's connected, 3's connected, you can screw up your balancer. So you want the entire thing wired, then you plug it in, and then you're done. And hold on to your depinned wires because you'll use them eventually. This wasn't exactly right for this size hole. This is going to be the new switch panel. I'm reprinting it, and I added a hole here for a potentiometer. So we'll have our Sparked Innovations, which I need to reach out to them because this is reading almost 1/4 volt off on the top and 1/10 of a volt off on the bottom. And then we've got not this one, this is a 100K, but we'll do a 5K potentiometer right in the center so we can adjust our voltage on the fly, which we won't do until, well, we'll be careful and figure out what the radio stops liking. Just slowly dial it up, but we'll probably start at 15.1 and see what happens. So I'll probably drain this down. I'll turn the alternator all the way down and drain this down to like 14.8 and then just slowly turn it up and see what happens. So stay tuned for that. And I think I'm about to clean up and call it a night. Tomorrow we're installing the NVX 6x9 baffles, and we're going to use this HDPE, high density polyethylene. It's like cheap cutting board material, but it's like 0.22 thick, and we're making additional spacers for the 6x9s because I took the trunk bars out again because they were hitting this. You can actually see, where is it? Right there. Bars were hitting the speakers. So we don't want that to happen. And we're gonna space them up just a little bit more, that 0.22 plus whatever the height of that silicone is. So that'll get the 6x9s up a little bit, and we don't have to worry about the trunk bars or this bar, this wooden 2x4 falling out and, as I said earlier, guillotining me. Also, I'm going to put my NVX board back on the trunk lid, so it's that guy. So, and then waiting to hear back on subs from NVX. So anyway, tomorrow hopefully I'll have all my wiring stuff and everything cleaned up, have all my stuff put away. I've got another box cut out to build, and then I've got more wood to cut out, and I've got a bunch of scraps, so I'm probably going to build, I might build 3 boxes tomorrow and just get that knocked out and get the 4th order in here and get this thing playing, and then that'll be done. And then I'll order plexiglass windows, so you'll have a window right here. Sealed side will be by the battery, window somewhere in here, and then the port will go right here. And I want to paint the inside of the box white and throw some LEDs in it, but haven't quite figured that out. So we'll do painting and LEDs when I get the window. But for now, we're gonna get the box in here and playing and get that Joker from Audio Ace broken in, do some TS parameter stuff on it, and I guess go from there. So stay tuned, and I'll post this as a day 1, and then we'll pick up the camera tomorrow, and for day 2, get my battery finalized and get everything kind of cleaned up in here. And now that I have time, I might, one last thing, play with this Lavish Lovebirds unicorn spit. So we're gonna play with this, and then if we get everything done, I'm pulling, I hate the autofocus on this, I am pulling the headliner and figure out why my sunroof quit working. So we're gonna call it for the night. Thanks for watching. Like and subscribe. Comment down below what you think I should do differently, or what you did that worked, or what you did that did not work. What should I avoid? If you're in the market for audio equipment, check out nvx.com. Use discount code Riley815. Get 10% off. And yeah, can run the same stuff that I'm running. Pretty budget system, but doing pretty much a 148 on music. So cannot complain. It's quite the daily driver system. But now with 4th order, we'll be doing more lows and a flat response, and it'll still be a low 140. So that's plenty, and I'm excited for it. And stay tuned for that, and we should be getting those boxes knocked out tomorrow. So thanks for watching, and have a good day.